do you think you'll be in the year 2030?
Broadway.
In jail or dead, or both.
It was the feel-good hit of the mid-2000s that catapulted long-forgotten pop hits back into the charts and its unknown cast to stardom. But since Glee became a global phenomenon, some of the cast's off-screen lives have been dogged by scandal and tragedy that are now the subject of a documentary about the price of fame. Discovery Plus's new documentary, The Price of Glee, details the tragedy surrounding so much of Ryan Murphy's hit sitcom Glee, a show that followed Ohio high school kids in their school's unpopular show choir. The show's leading lady, Lea Michele, has been back in the news since she took over from Beanie Feldstein in the Broadway show Funny Girl and got rave reviews. Years after the hit show, hardcore fans still prove how big the Glee phenomenon really was. Lea Michele's opening night performance in Funny Girl broke almost every record for Broadway ticket sales, with the price of a ticket costing upwards of $2,500. Glee aired at a pivotal time and blazed a trail for gay and lesbian TV characters, making it one of the reasons the show was such a hit. But there was a dark shadow behind the sitcom beloved by so many. 3 of the show's main cast members died in tragic circumstances before turning 40 years old. Here's what you need to know about the new documentary. Cory Monteith, the show's jock-turned-lead singer and leading man Finn Hudson, was found dead of an alcohol and heroin overdose in a hotel room in Vancouver in July 2013. His death at age 31 shocked fans.
Cory Monteith was known for his lovable demeanor, for being really laid back, kind of being the funny man on set.
The documentary details how Monteith had been battling addiction and wrestling with sobriety since he was just 13. At the time of his death, Glee was in its 5th season, and Monteith was engaged to his co-star Lea Michele, who plays Rachel Berry. The new documentary addressed how the show began filming again quickly after Monteith's death, and claims the decision to do this was all Lea Michele's.
It was clear early on that Ryan Murphy had a soft spot for Lea Michele. And I think they also went on to bond a lot following Cory Monteith's death, where they really put Lea in the driver's seat with making a lot of decisions. Even in the industry, we all kind of expected there to be a hiatus before the show would come back, and that didn't prove to be the case. People might not know how instrumental Lea Michele was in making that decision. Ryan Murphy has said he instantly went to Lea, and he put 3 options on the table. They could have ended the series altogether. They could have taken a hiatus and came back in January. And then the 3rd option was to go back mere weeks after his untimely death and start filming.
And he said, you know, what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do, we'll do. And I said, I have to go back to work. You know, we have to. They're my family.
Salling played Noah Puckerman, who gets a girl pregnant within the first 5 episodes of the show.
He was somebody who was obsessed with sex. And if I was him, I would be wondering, do they know the things I think about as they're writing these scripts?
What did Mark say? I'm going to put that in there. You know, so the characters have really been developed through spending time with him.
There's also a scene in season 4 where Puck actually hooks up with an underage girl.
I mean, on the show I'm a bad guy, but in real life, I'm the worst guy.
After the show ended, Salling's personal life took a very dark turn. He was charged with possessing child pornography and pleaded guilty to downloading 25,000 sexual images of children. Certain to face prison time, Salling hung himself in a forest in Los Angeles in January 2018, just weeks before he was scheduled to be sentenced. Many cast members faced backlash as they voiced support for Salling following his death, despite the child pornography charges he was found guilty of.
I'm devastated over it. He was a very troubled man, a really dark guy, and I know he did his very best in this life, and I'm sorry it was such a hard one for him.
In June 2020, Naya Rivera was found dead in Lake Piru in California. The actress had gone out on a rented pontoon boat with her then 4-year-old son and drowned. Her son was found sleeping and alone on the drifting boat later that afternoon. The pair had been swimming in the lake when she told her son to get back on the boat. He then heard her call help before she vanished into the water. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office said she was most likely trapped in thick vegetation underwater for several days before floating to the top. Fans mourned Rivera's abrupt passing. She had played Santana Lopez, a lesbian cheerleader who came to terms with her sexuality through singing Fleetwood Mac with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Can I sail through the changing ocean of time?
Santana's storyline really grew when the writers and Ryan saw how much and how important the lesbian storyline became to so many people.
The role was considered trailblazing for its time in its portrayal of a young woman's coming of age and coming out. Discovery Plus's new documentary shines a new light on the uncanny and fatal coincidences that the cast of Ryan Murphy's Glee faced, from Lea Michele's racial bullying scandal, some of the younger cast's alleged domestic abuse, and some rumored age gap relationships. Many people have questioned whether there's a Glee curse. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.